Good morning. Rainy day in Florida. Well, it looks kind of like it might rain here too, Suze. I don't know. I thought it was going to be clear. We've had a lot of rain this weekend, but I haven't looked at the forecast. We'll see what happens. So, happy Monday morning. We're going to wait a few minutes, see if people turn up. Memorial Day, I guess. I don't know. It's funny because every day these kind of spread together now, right? It's hard to sometimes know what day it is exactly, especially kind of these longer holiday weekends. My husband was off Friday, so it's felt like Saturday for like 3 days now. I don't, I don't know what's going on. And then I thought yesterday did sort of feel like Sunday, but then today everyone's off again. So I don't know. But I hope you did something sort of fun for the weekend. We cooked out. I think my husband's going to smoke something for dinner if the weather cooperates. We'll see. But yeah, we had a cookout and sat on the back porch for the first time for dinner. Um, and then just as we were setting everything up, there was a huge like downpour. So we got a little wet because it's a screen porch, but the wind was blowing sideways. So yeah, the weather's been kind of rough uh, this spring. I feel like we're definitely going to go from, you know, uh, chilly weather to please turn on the air conditioning. I feel like there's not going to be much in between this year. We're almost in. We're almost to June. So we can just sit and breathe if you are um, ready to just start with your breathing, sitting comfortably. Bringing that awareness more inward. So today is Memorial Day, which is the day where we honor people that have lost their life in war. Um, I guess in war or in service to their country, in any form that might take. So it's actually this is really good timing because we just covered that whole idea of ahimsa and non-harming. So war is kind of sometimes a confusing subject when we talk about it in terms of yoga and yoga philosophy. Um, there's a very famous book called the Bhagavad Gita that is it's a really good book. It's a real clear explanation of Hindu philosophy and kind of our path, but it's set in kind of a strange format. So the structure of the book is this conversation between this great warrior Arjuna and the god Krishna, who's taking the form of his chariot driver. So this is, ancient, right? Thousands and thousands of years ago. Um, and the conversation is that, Arjuna doesn't want to do this. He doesn't want to fight. He knows he will kill a lot of people. He'll kill, friends and relatives, and this huge fight that's going on. And he doesn't really want to do it. And Krishna says, well, buddy, it's kind of late for that. You're here. And this is what's happening. So it's an allegory for our internal fight. But because of the way it's set, people read it and take it on the kind of on the surface to believe that, Hindu philosophy is endorses war or is very warlike. And that's not true. But it is true that we have an obligation to follow our, what we call dharma, which is your duty. And a lot of times our dharma is, we don't know where our dharma is, right? That's something we need to discover for ourselves. And it may take you in all different places. But your dharma is basically doing what needs to be done at where you are right now, doing the right thing. And that may take different forms at different times. So at this time and place, Krishna is saying, hey, Arjuna, you're leading this army. You're in the thick of it. You are a force of good fighting a force of evil. You can't turn back now. You need to finish this. That is your dharma. So there may be times, right? I mean, that's what this is about, that these soldiers, these guys were willing to give their life for something they believed in. They were fighting to advance good over evil. And it's a big thing. They were following what they believed to be their dharma. And in yoga philosophy, even though we talk about ahimsa being non-harming, and there is, this, we do want to avoid having to harm as much as possible. There is a belief that there is no greater honor or sacrifice, right, than to give your life for a cause that you believe in, to lay down your life for someone else. It's a big thing. That's all we have on earth, right, is this body. Now, in yoga philosophy, our body is not who we are. So we have this eternal soul. So if the body goes, the soul is still here. And in some respects, it's perhaps not as permanent as it might be in some other philosophies. With that idea of reincarnation, it would be that you would come back. But that is, we can't turn away from our duty. So if that is our duty, then, you gotta see it through. So we honor the people who saw their duty and saw it through, to protect all of us. And that's a really big thing. It's the biggest thing you can do for someone else. I hope that none of us ever have to make that decision, to be forced to confront that particular dharma. But this is a day where we can honor those who have. we have in my family a long history of military service. Not professional, just volunteer guys who went out to war. In going back through our genealogy, I found somebody in every war up until the Vietnam War, which was my dad was the last one. He was in World War II, and of course we were too young to be in Vietnam. But it's a long line of guys trying to do what they thought was the right thing. Luckily for me, in the later years, they all came home. But many of them didn't. In the Civil War, there were 4 brothers, and well, 5 brothers, I should say, and 4 died. Well, 4 died, 1 went missing, and 1 survived, and that's who we are descended from. So it's it's a wonderful thing that people are willing to do that, but it's also a huge sacrifice and a huge toll. So we got to remember that none of these things come free. It is the cost for someone, always. So let's say a prayer and Om, chant an Om for the souls who have departed. Deep breath in. Breath in and breath out. And we'll get started. Seated on the mat, sitting upright. Deep breath, and then chin down toward the chest. Let the head hang. And then moving the head around, big circle. One way and then the other. Back to center. Take a breath. Lean forward. Moving around. One direction and then the other. Back up to your seat. Arms wide. Deep breath in and then exhale, hands to center. Inhale wide. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Interlace the fingers, lift the hands high, gazing up, hands down by your side. Inhale, lift, and lower, lift, lower, and once more, lifting up. We'll bring the right hand down, reach across with the left, and then switch. Back up, lift your shoulders, roll back. And forward. Left hand on right knee, right arm behind. Sit up tall, take a twist. Back to center. Lift up and take a twist. And back to center. Tabletop. Moving through cat-cow. Lower the belly, lift the head, and then reversing. Inhales and exhales. And then sitting back on the heels. Moving back up. Tabletop to downward dog. Walk it out a little bit. Step the feet up. We're in our fold here. Breathe. And then rising up. Standing tall. Breath in and out. Inhale. Lift the arms. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, right foot steps back. Set your knee down. Arms overhead. Hands down to the mat. Stepping back. Downward dog. Inhale, high plank, and lower down. Inhale, lifting up, head and chest. Lower. Inhale, lift. And lower. Inhale, lift. And lower. Coming back up. Tabletop, downward dog. One more breath in
Then right foot steps up. Set your left knee down, arms overhead. And then hands down to the mat, step the back foot up and fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift arms high. Back to mountain. Take a breath. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, stepping back with the left. Drop the knee, arms overhead. Hands down to the mat, stepping back, downward dog. Inhale, high plank, and lower down. Inhale, head and chest lift, lower. Inhale, lift, head and chest, and lower. One more, lifting head and chest, or all the way up to upward dog. Moving back, downward dog. Take one more breath here. Then left foot steps up. Drop the right knee down. Arms overhead. And then hands to the mat. Back foot steps up. Fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift, arms high, back to mountain. Take a breath. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. On the exhale, stepping back with the left foot. We'll press down with both feet and rise up. Warrior one. One more breath here. And then moving to warrior two. Right arm is extended out. Left arm extends behind. Gazing over that front hand. Relax the shoulders. Inhale. Flip the right hand, lift it up high. Reversing the warrior. And then right arm comes down. You can rest it on the thigh. Pull the left shoulder back. Left arm lifts. Side angle. Hand can stay here, or we could bring it down by the foot. And then back up. Warrior two. And then hands by your side. Straighten the knee, turn your foot. So facing side of the mat now. Have hands at the waist or the hips. Take that deep breath. Relax. And then lean forward. So we're letting everything go here. Head hangs down. Hands could come down the legs onto the floor if you want. Wherever works for you today. Breathe. And then hands back to the waist. Use that leg strength. Lift yourself up. Take a breath. And then we're going to turn. So we're facing the front here. Right foot is out, left foot behind. Interlace the fingers, whatever form you like to do this. Shoulders back, deep breath. Fold forward. Press down the foot. We're rising back up. Back foot steps to the front. Arms overhead. And back to mountain. Take a breath. Inhale. Lift the arms again. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, right foot steps back. Press down with both feet, arms overhead. Warrior one. One more breath. And then move to warrior two. Left arm out, right arm behind. Breathe. Inhale. Flip the palm. We're lifting the left arm up, right arm by your side. And then left arm comes down and rest it on the thigh. Pull that right shoulder back, right arm lifts. Side angle. And back up. Hold your warrior two for a breath. And then hands by your side. Straighten the knee. Turn the foot. And we're facing the side of the mat again. This time, let's bring the hands behind. In some version, you could do interlaced fingers or grabbing wrists, or walk the hands up, pulling the shoulders back. Deep breath, folding forward. And breathe. And then rising up. Release the hands if you feel lightheaded. Hands up over the head. And then we're going to walk the feet in. It's about shoulder width, something like that. Hands to center. Take a deep breath. And then we're bending the knees, lowering down into your yogi squat, malasana. One more breath if you're still here. And then come on back up. Release the hands. Left foot turns so we're facing the front. We've got this left leg out, right leg behind. Drawing back the shoulders. Breath in, fold forward. And rising up. Back foot steps up, arms overhead. Back to mountain. Take a breath. And let's do some balance. So let's start with tree. So we always start with tree. I mean, a lot of times we do. It's a good one to start with. So we're standing on the left foot, right foot, kickstand, calf, higher up maybe. Whichever you choose, trying to keep that knee dialed out to the side. Nice and upright, steady gaze, shoulders back. Keep breathing. Make sure you're not clenching your jaw or holding your breath. Right? Those are things we like to do. We think they help us concentrate, but really it just makes you tense. And then bring the foot back down. We're going to switch now. So we're on the right foot with the left knee out, hands to center, finding that steadiness. You can extend if that's working for you today. If not, no worries, just do what you can do. Always doing just what we can do today. And not worrying about it, just letting it be, right? What a beautiful world it would be if we could just accept ourselves and our abilities as they are. Right? We can always change. We can work towards change. But we can't do that from a place of hatred, self-hatred. We have to be okay with where we are today. And then bring the foot down. Bicycle legs. We're going to step out into warrior three. So got a little room in front of us, hands together. Deep breath in, and then we're going to step out with the left and begin leaning forward as we lift that back leg. Maybe a little, maybe more. Just depends. How steady do you feel? Arms could come out to the side if that helps you with your balance. If you want to touch down on the wall, feel free to do that. Find what works. There's no, again, right or wrong with this. Well, I shouldn't say that. There is wrong. The wrong way to do this is the way that hurts you or puts you in a position where you feel unsafe or insecure. You don't want that. And then set the foot back down. We're going to step out this time on the right. And we are lifting up the left. Leaning forward, steady, breathe. And if you touch down, you can always try again. Just keep that relaxed feeling. And then set the foot back down, bicycle legs. And we're just going to lift up the right leg. Shoulders back, nice and upright with the body. Breathe. Set the foot down, switch sides. And back down with the foot, bicycle legs. Come on back to your mat. Arms up, overhead. Breath in, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, we're going to step back to downward dog. Inhale, come on forward to high plank. And then we're lowering down. Head turns to the right, arms by your side. Take a few breaths. Back to center. Let's bring the hands by the side for cobra. So I've got hands about chest height, elbows close to the body, tops of the feet pressing down into the mat. And then we're going to start lifting up. Head and chest, cover the hands. And lower down. Head turns to the left. Head back to center. Let's lift up the head and the chest, the arms and the legs, everything together. and lower down. Let's have the head to center. You can bring hands out in front, and we'll just set the forehead down or the chin on the hands. Toes in, heels out. If you like that, if you don't like that, then that's fine. But I know for some folks it doesn't feel good, but I like it. And then we're moving back up. Tabletop to child's pose. And then back up. Tabletop to downward dog. Stepping feet up to the hands. And we're coming down to a seat on the mat. Soles of the feet together. Sitting up tall. Deep breath. Fold forward. Coming back up. Both legs out in front. Inhale, lift the arms, and then folding forward on the exhale. Back up. Bend the right knee. We could bring this foot to the inside of the thigh or up on top of the thigh. It's up to you where you want to be. Take your breath in, and then we're reaching that left hand down toward the left foot. Back up, and we'll switch. So either against the thigh or on top of the thigh. Take a breath, and then leaning forward, fold. Moving back up. Both legs in front. One more fold. Breath in and fold forward. Back up to your seat. Bend the knees. Soles of the feet to the mat. And then we're lowering down or rocking back. Finding a comfortable place on the mat. Take a few breaths. And then bending the knees, soles of the feet to the mat. We're going to bring the right ankle on top of the left knee. Staying here, maybe pressing that knee away from the body, or we are bringing that left thigh in towards the chest. Breathe. And then we're going to set the left foot down, but keep the right foot where it is. Arms to a T or maybe goalpost arms. We're going to start lowering the left knee down to the side so that right foot is going along with it. And you might get that foot down to the mat or you might not. That's okay. We're just going to stretch. Coming back up. Switch. So now we've got the left ankle and the right knee staying here or bringing the leg in, the right leg in close. Breathe. And then we're going to set the foot down. Keep that left ankle on the knee. And we're going to start lowering. And I'm still too close to the wall. Coming back to your center. Let's bring both feet down onto the mat. We're going to set up for bridge. Heels walk in close to the body. Hands by your side. And then we're pressing down hands and feet, lifting up. Breathe. And then we're lowering down. Bring the soles of the feet together. Relax and breathe. You can have hands by your side or on your belly. You can bring them up over your head. You could take opposite elbows if that is relaxing for you.
And then we're bringing the knees to center. Let's walk them out a little ways, or the feet rather, out a little ways while the knees are still bumping to center. And just breathe here for a few breaths. So this pose, it's not really a pose, sort of a half a pose. But this is a really great thing if you do ever have any issues with your low back. It's kind of releasing to the low back, but not, there's no strain with it. So it can be a nice option. Some people even like to go into Shavasana like this if it helps. Kind of relax your body. And then let's bring the knees into center, into your chest. We're rocking a little side to side. And then extending the legs straight up. You can lower here, both legs together, one leg at a time, however you want to get there. So you are extended, lying flat on your mat. You can do whatever you want with the legs. You could bend the knees. You could have soles of the feet together. You could just stay right where you are. If you need to take another pose or two to get yourself settled, that's fine also. Keep that breath moving. So when it comes to that, to the idea of war, yoga philosophy obviously sees it as a failure. It is a breakdown in our ability to see each other as ourselves. Um, when you go to war, if we are all one, you're hurting all of us, and we are in turn being hurt. So um, it is to be avoided at all costs. It is the final, really is it's the ultimate failure of our ability to see one another as we truly are. But that being true, there are times when defending yourself is warranted. So um, if we follow our dharma, if we are making the right choice as we go along, we'll know. Right? We'll know when we need to go to war and when we need to do something else. And it's as true for countries as it is for individuals. Unfortunately, many countries don't follow that path. They have a lot of other reasons behind that. But we can't really, for our purposes, we cannot focus on that. We're not focusing on that right now. The path ahead of us is what comes next. What do we do? What is our next step? And if we can focus on that, we get away from these kind of bigger picture issues that in many cases we have very little control over. We do, however, have control over what we do with our own selves. So make it yogic, make it correct. I'm going to read you, if I can find it. I had it in here a minute ago. Read you a little passage from the Bhagavad Gita. So this is what Krishna is telling Arjuna. spite for the sake of duty, treating alike happiness and distress, loss and gain, victory and defeat. Fulfilling your responsibility in this way, you will never incur sin. So Krishna is saying we follow this path, we follow our path regardless. So if we are trying to do something, if we're trying to win a war or do anything that is our duty, if we're doing our best, victory or defeat doesn't matter. Setbacks don't matter. We just keep going. We know that we're doing the right thing. Good and evil is not conditional on winning and losing, right? I mean, you could have a lot of evil things that seem impossible to beat, right? It may seem like that's all there is just evil thing after evil thing after evil thing, and these may seem so strong. But Krishna would tell you the battle's not over. Victory and defeat don't matter. What matters is doing. What are you doing? Are you doing good, or are you giving up? Are you walking away? That's where your victory is. So when you're ready, we can move fingers and toes, hands and feet. Stretching if you feel like it. And then moving side to side. Coming up to a seat on the mat. We'll bring hands together. Deep breath in and out. Thank you for taking some time today to join me on the mat. I hope you have a great rest of the day. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you all for coming to class. I will be here again tomorrow, Tuesday. And I hope you have a pleasant day. I hope you do something fun. I hope you go outside and enjoy it if that's possible. We'll see how the weather holds. All right. Thank you.